Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tyler Shaw with Nomad Outfitters, and today we have a 2023 GX460 that we did for a client that is out of state. For the out of state builds, we actually go through more of a process of, depending on what we did to it, we'll break in gears and put the 500 miles on it. We'll work the whole system, make sure everything's working properly before it leaves. And this client's been very understanding, and it's been great to work with him. He was actually one of the ones that said, he's like, hey, yeah, let's definitely do a build video on this, which we appreciate. It definitely helps us out, and it's something that he wanted. Let's dive into it. Starting up front, we did a CBI front bumper. It's got a worn Xeon 10S winch with Factor 55 Ultra Hook and Fair Lead. For the suspension system, going through, we did, let's actually back up. Well, let's start with we did cam tab gussets and spindle gussets, as well as a weld-on Panhard correction bracket. Suspension, it does have an ADS coilover with a 700-pound spring. It has an Old Man Emu rear spring that is supporting the weight of the variable weight of his long-range fuel tank, his descent rear bumper, and he is going to be pulling a matching trailer with this rig. So we kind of factored that in as well. It does have the Powerbrake X line on the front and the D line on the back. It has just gone through the process of the break-in, where they want to see about a couple hundred miles of very soft braking, which is a little bit different than most aftermarket brake companies, but Powerbrake makes a phenomenal setup that we've been very happy with them. It does have Timbren bump stops. It has SPC upper control arms. For wheels and tires, we did a Method 704, an actual color from Method, and it paired up very, very well with the rig, and we actually really like how it turned out. The Methods are wrapped in a Falcon Wild Peak AT4. That's a 285/70/17 tire. We've been very happy with Falcons, and we'll continue to use them. For skid plates, it's a combination of CBI and RCI skids, and both companies are great. We've enjoyed working with both, and so it's just kind of the combination that we went with on this one. For the engine, transmission, and transfer case, it has a CBI. For the fuel tank and the rear diff skid, they are from RCI. The sliders are Expedition 1, and they do have our traditional powder coat top plates on them that do provide a little bit of traction coat on them. Really like how that turned out. The whole vehicle is wrapped in a standard gloss PPF that Deco did for us, and they did a really good job. We really do like working with them. The material that they used through Autobahn, it actually has a national-wide warranty with it. And so this guy, when he goes home, he has a card with all the information, and if it's a 10-year PPF, if something goes wrong with it, it's all under warranty. You're not paying for somebody else's labor after the fact. It's all included, which is a nice perk. Up top, we do have a Prenzu roof rack. This is their Prenzu Pro, which is quite a bit stronger than the original design. We've been very happy with that. It's got a Ball Designs 40-inch S8 light bar. That is a spot light bar up top. It does have a Dobinsons raised air intake with a Cyclone / Storkel upgrade pre-filter on it. Let's move them around back. All right, moving on back, we have a descent rear bumper, and this was really fun. I think this is like the first couple that Descent has made, and it's always a fun process working with Descent. They make a really quality product. This is the GX460 rear carrier from them. We opted for the spare tire mount that does have the collapsible table on the back end, as well as a triple jerry can holder. Just their craftsmanship and their design, we've just been really big fans and have been very happy with the product that they generate. On the back, we did a chase light. This client will be going through Baja quite a bit, is his goal, and it was kind of built with that in mind. So he has a trailer to pull. We factored that weight in. He has his chase light. It is a re-gear. We did 488 gears. It does have an ARB locker in it, and it's all powered by the Garmin power switch that will show you that is up underneath the hood. How that works through Garmin is everything is sent to a control module that is located underneath the hood in the engine bay, and then it's Bluetooth to your CarPlay system. It's actually a really clean setup and something that we've been very impressed with and happy with. Let's pop this open. So one thing with Descent, it is a very easy latching system. I think you've probably seen some of our videos that we've done on the Land Cruisers. Closing it is just as easy, where it's not like a lever that you have to operate. You just push it in and it's all spring loaded. This thing does have their spare bike hitch system on it, and they are actually coming out with a system for a e-bike carrier that we're going to have on a 4Runner build coming up that another client's pretty excited about. You still get to operate the rear hatch and everything just like you did before. It's all pretty easy to access, and then the rear table is a clean setup. So if you're at camp, you got that table. You can never have too many tables. It all works very well. All right, going underneath the hood real quick. We got his twin ARB compressor and his ARB manifold in the back. That's on a SLE mount. So he has his air coupler on the manifold, as well as the line going to his rear ARB locker. That's all controlled by the Garmin power switch that we mentioned a second ago. The winch control system, we actually relocated this to the engine bay instead of leaving it down underneath on the winch. His remote is wireless, but if for some reason his remote ever dies, he's not having to climb underneath or take the front panel off to get to his winch to be able to plug it in. So it's just another nice perk or nice benefit to making it a custom mount for just ease of use. So if something does happen, he can plug it in and still get out of a jam. We did an Odyssey AGM battery. We do like those for starter batteries. It does have SLE billet battery terminals, as well as an SDHQ billet tie down just to clean everything up. Kyle did a really good job on all the wiring. Everything does look very, very clean. We do have ARB diff breathers on this system as well, which is the little black ring that's coming up. That just allows you to have a little bit higher water clearance and get those out from down low up a bit higher, so you're not filling your axles up with water. Let's take it for a spin. Okay, going into we talked about it a little bit, but going into the CarPlay system and how the Garmin power switch works, this gives you a good idea that if we've already labeled everything with using our cell phone, it will do the same thing for the client when he comes to pick up, so he has it all set up on his phone. You could Bluetooth from your phone, or you could set up through your CarPlay system. And so he has his light bar. We could turn his light bar on. He's got his chase light. We could turn that on and off. And then we got his air compressor. We could turn that on and off, and then activate his rear locker and deactivate his rear locker. So it's actually a really clean system where you don't have to have another panel inside the vehicle. It's all integrated. There are downsides to that. I mean, you need to have your phone with you to hook up CarPlay, but everybody seems to really like it. It's all clean, user-friendly, and easy to set up. Okay, taking the rig for a quick drive here, and let's start with, like most of my videos, let's go into what did I forget, which is definitely a few things. So additionally, on his CarPlay system and wired to his Garmin power switch, he does have 8 rock lights mounted underneath the vehicle. This is something that we like to have mainly for camp. It's kind of like that indirect light, kind of like just like under cabinet lighting. It's a nice addition that's simple, but it's also beneficial that if you're pulling into camp and you're off-roading, you get clear vision of wheel placement and know exactly where all 4 wheels are, just simply by the lights in each fender well. We've also wired those lights as just a nice addition into his courtesy lights, and so when the client unlocks the vehicle, all the rock lights are coming on. When he opens the door, all of his rock lights are coming on. So he always has clear vision getting in and out of the vehicle, which we just find it to be a nice touch. The ADS suspension is one of our main go-tos, and we kind of touched a little bit on that earlier. It does have full compression adjustment on it too, which allows you to kind of change the ride as you see fit. We've done a little bit of nitrogen tuning on it, but we need to kind of dive into a little bit more before the client picks up to kind of get it a little bit more dialed in. The rear control arms, it has Dobinson rear control arms for the uppers and the lowers, as well as the Panhard bar. We do like Dobinson control arms because it is more of an OEM style bushing that is built to last, with also just a stronger setup. If we can make anything better and stronger and last longer, or as long as a factory setup with adding strength, we definitely want to do it. Let's see what else. The tires are Snowflake rated from Falcon with the AT4s. We were huge fans of the AT3s, and so far the AT4s haven't disappointed either. Driving, everything feels very comfortable, and honestly, it's our opinion that it drives better than what it did from the factory. Even with all the weight, everything is set up to be very comfortable. ADS makes a phenomenal shock, and they've always been one of our main go-tos. But with this setup, with the geometry correction that we've done, all the way down to the Treaty Oak KDSS spacers, which was a client recommendation, and it's actually turned out very well, and the IM Keith Panhard correction bar, everything is more stable. You don't get the nosedive, you don't get the body roll that you did with the factory setup. If we can make something better, we are all for it. If we can't improve on it or make it as good as factory, we just don't want to do the platform. That's why the GX is one of our favorite setups. We've been a fan of it for a minute, and we do a lot of GXs just like we do a lot of Land Cruisers, and there are some other platforms that we love that we are trying to push to do more of as well. Client has no issue, cruising at 70 going down the highway. Your driving fatigue is not increased by any means over normal driving. It's probably actually improved a little bit. Off-road is definitely improved with the rear locker. This does have the center diff lock system on it, so it's a nice combination. And the GX460 is just basically the Prado 150 that the rest of the world knows well. It's our version of it, but with that you get heated and cooled seats. We left the interior pretty well bone stock. He opted not to do a cargo management system or a drawer system or a power management system because he is having a trailer built to match this vehicle for camping. think that about does it. If you got any questions, please feel free to reach out. Definitely a great build for a great client. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.